So let's jump right on into it. The first character that we in the EventHubs chats have been talking about easily the most is Manon. Manon. I don't know how it's being pronounced all different ways across the internet. Have fun with that. But Manon, I'm going to go to you first, Steven, because you've had the least amount of time to speak so far. What do you think about Manon? Where do you place her?
I have Manon in S rank. I think she is she's standing out above pretty much everybody right now, I think. It's still a bit early, so I'm not trying to say she's the best in the game definitively or anything like that, but there are a lot of signs that say this character is probably top tier. I mean, I would maybe top 5, potentially best in the game. Still early, but a lot of signs pointing to her being really good. She doesn't seem like she has a lot of weaknesses, which is interesting. I mean, she can suffer the zoning and stuff, but she has ways to go through fireballs. In her character guide in-game in Street Fighter 6, it says that her normals are weak. I don't know who wrote that guide. They clearly have never played the character before because her normals are not weak. They don't seem weak to me at all. She can play footsies really, and she's really good in the footsie game. She can do really good damage as well. This character kind of has everything, and I haven't got a chance to jump in and actually play her myself in actual matches, but running through her combo trials and stuff, she doesn't seem like she has a lot of things that are difficult to do. So it feels like it's you learn some of her main kind of her streamlined setups and things, and you can you're off to the races, right? And it's interesting. She seems really good right now, and a lot of pro players are playing her, man. I mean, you're seeing her pop up a lot. You're seeing a lot of tech. She seems really good.
John, how does that resonate with you?
Yeah, I'm completely on board with this. She reminds me of Rashid, not in terms of playstyle, but in terms of lack of weaknesses. You ask people what she's not good at, and it's like nothing. She's great at everything. And this is a character I think that is most up for nerfs this next time around that we get balanced stuff. Something like maybe making her strike command grab not add to her metal levels would be really good. But you've got people like Idom, Joey, 801 Strider, Johnny the Karen player from Japan, Oil King, Luffy, and Problem X all playing Manon right now. So I've got her in the S rank, #1 overall. And then in terms of, I went and charted out all the people that are playing master rank characters in this game. And so every person in there, Manon is #3 with 99 people in master rank.
So of all the people that are playing, or all the people that have gotten to master, Manon's been mastered 99 times.
99 times and 3rd overall. Out of the
all right, interesting. I think she has weaknesses. I did not put her in S rank. I put her in A rank, so the second tier down. I've played a handful of Manons because she is fairly prominent online and such. And I see her abilities. Of course, she's got very prominent strengths, and I think that I would. When we first heard about her and when we first saw what she could do, review copies of Street Fighter 6 went out and everybody saw the damage that comes off of level 5 command grabs. And that's no joke. That's an absolute strength. It is something to be respected, and it is something that she uses to absolutely climb the tier ladders. She does have decent footsie tools. She can play this footsie game, but I don't think that it excels more than anybody else in particular. I think she's got a fairly average footsie game, and she has to earn her way into those command grabs. And if you're playing footsies with her, there are clear places where you can stop her, where you can shut her down. But before we get into that, I started with this metal system, the command grabs. We saw the damage, and it got a lot of front-end momentum. People were really afraid. We saw those clips. You contrast her with a character like Jamie, who also has a level up system, but his reset every single round. Hers don't. They carry through. So you think about that, and in theory, that makes her pretty scary in theory. She gets pretty inflated, and she hits the ground running. The game comes out, and not to say that these aren't very, very powerful strengths, but I don't think that that's taking her to the very top. I feel comfortable. I'm a JP player, so I've got okay buttons and footsies and neutral. I feel just fine playing the footsie duel with her with just normals and manipulations there. I think I can keep her out just fine. She's going to get in sometimes, of course, and it's a pain, but I don't think that takes her to the very top. And so you guys are saying that she's got really strong neutral tools. Can you elaborate, maybe, Steve, and talk about what you're seeing there that feels like, is there something that she has that doesn't have a clear answer, or is there something that she can just do and there's nothing that you can do about it?
She has standing heavy kick, which has really, really good range, and it's a punish counter. And I think it sends you into a tumble state if you get hit by it as a punish counter. She can follow up with that. It throws you to the corner, or it gives her corner carry. You can drive impact that, but it's a pretty fast normal in neutral, and it's like you need to be sitting there really waiting for it in order to kind of get that. It's not something you're really reacting to too much. She also has standing medium kick, which has deceptively good range and goes straight into her drive rush stuff, which she can get the combo stuff started right away. She also has some target combos that are really, at least I've found they're difficult to deal with when she's pressuring you. She has a string that I think she goes low first. She might just go mid, but it looks like a low hit, and then she does an overhead, which it's like a slower overhead, so you want to react there and go, oh, I can drive impact.
She jab her out of it, right?
Maybe, yeah, but she can counter drive impact during that string, and it's like, okay, like why is that okay kind of thing. It's like, I get she needs to mount offense and stuff, but she just has some things that feel like they're, at least in my opinion, they feel like they're above the pack kind of thing. So,
Sean, what do you think about her neutral?
Yeah, Steven, actually, real quick, does she remind you at all of Laura from Street Fighter V?
She does kind of remind me of Laura because she does have the grappler stuff, and she doesn't have like a super high execution barrier or anything like that. She feels like she's designed to be like okay, you can kind of, like I said earlier, hit the ground running and just kind of go and do what you want to do. We were talking a little bit about the metal system earlier as well, and Adaptive Trigger, Justin on our team and I were talking a few days ago, and we're basically mentioning like one potential way they might want to nerf her is make her lose metal when she gets knocked down, like G in Street Fighter V, which would be okay, like you have to earn it now, and even if it does carry over between rounds, there's a bit more onus on the Manon player to actually keep their metal instead of just, I get to get it in every combo, and then by round 3, sometimes even round 2, she's at level 5, and one command throw does like almost half your health, and it's like, that seems a little bit too, it seems like too much right now. It seems like too much, and she gets too much for not enough investment, it feels like.
Yeah, my biggest thing with the character is when she's playing neutral, she can go high and low from very far out, from ranges that most rushdown characters can't do. I don't know exactly how far her sweep reaches, like it's a special move and stuff where she tries to kick you a couple times, but I think it's like 3/4 of the screen it feels like she can travel, and to be able to go low with a move like that as a grappler, like she's not trying to play neutral, like don't get me wrong here, like she wants to get in and blow you up with her stuff, and so she's basically just trying to open you up any way she can, and then she has like a half screen overhead. And it's like, what the heck? Like, why did you give her these two tools? Like, when you're a grappler and you're that good up close, which she may be the best character up close in the entire game with her normals that are like neg1 and a bunch of other stuff that's very difficult to approach her on, and then her anti-air game is insane. And that's something I really hate with Capcom, when they design characters that are really good at rushing down and other stuff, and there's no penalty for overcommitting. And generally, when you're committing to moves, and Steven knows this really well, like playing Lily, who we'll get into here in a second, when you commit to moves, you should have a decent amount of recovery, and you should be opened up to the point where someone could at least make you block a jump and attack. But with Manon, her anti-air is so good and puts you in such a great position for her to blow you up afterwards. It's like, man, what are her weaknesses? Well, I think her weakness actually might be JP, the character that John plays, which I think that may be part of the reason, because I don't think that she does very well from full screen. Her mobility and a bunch of other options really are about mid-screen and closer up, and that I think is where she does really well, but from full screen I would imagine she struggles tremendously.
Well, I think about I have a couple of Manon players, one of them here in Arizona, regular playing, and so I've had some experience against her as he's been exploring her too. I know standing heavy kick goes really far, but it's also got 15 frames of startup, and it is -2 on hit if you don't get the crush counter scenario or whatever that is in Street Fighter 6, and it's -6 on block. So I see counters, like immediately I theory fight. It's like, okay, so that's gonna suck if I get hit, but if she's in that range, I can either make her whiff it, I can hit her on startup, or if I just plain block it, it's completely my turn now. And also, like you said, it's not DI cancelable, so it will also be susceptible to DI, as will her. It's not her sweep, but it might as well be, because I think she uses this as a sweep more than her sweep, is that like kind of twirl on the ground. I think it's a quarter circle command. Either way, she can use that to pounce forward, but that's a huge huge risk for her. So when you slow things down against Manon, I feel like you can stuff her advances just fine. Should you be jumping at her very often? Well, she's a grappling character. I don't know how much you want to jump in against a grappler. You need to have that at all times as a juggling pin that she needs to worry about. But I would say, okay, well, she's got anti-airs, she's got anti-airs. To me, I feel like, and of course, full screen JP, clear advantage against her for sure. But I'm fighting her most of the time at a place where JP doesn't really excel, and that's in just the close to mid range where he can't just freely get projectiles out on the screen. He's got to use his neutral tools, which are fine but not amazing, and I still feel comfortable against this character doing that. When she gets in, that's her favorite place to be for sure. But all things considered, the way she can pounce, it all has holes in it, it all has counters to it, and I think that yes, just drive rushing in and suddenly command grabbing, that's going to catch people for a while until it doesn't. I think some of that's going to wane after some time, and I think that things will settle. Still a very good character, but I don't think an S tier character right now. Any last thoughts on Manon? Anyone want to disagree with something I said, or we all said our piece?
Nerf this character, please.
Yeah,
let's go.
I was gonna say I disagree a little bit, but we're gonna get into this here. I think probably next with the JP. It has nothing special in the normals there. Like, he does okay. We'll talk about that in the next section.
Oh man, that conversation was just getting started. I wonder what we said about JP. Well, you can find out by checking out this video right here. Or if you have the time and you want to hear our entire Street Fighter 6 Week 1 tiered discussion where Dream King, Catalyst, and I all offer our tier lists and our thoughts on all 18 characters, you can do so right here.